So this short is every parent's worst nightmare.
Yeah, pretty much.
So the Riley's dad opens the door, and there is a boy saying, "Is Riley there?" And all the emotions in his head basically go berserk, and they say, "Yeah, why is he here? What's he doing there?" And so then the mom character, obviously, I love the fact that we revisit the emotions in both the mom and the dad. The dad is like on a spaceship, and has all metal things around him, because that's basically what he grew up with, and that's how he's all sorted out in his mind. His mom basically is just like daytime talk show kind of set up and everything like that, and that's where all her emotions are.
And then we see Riley's emotions again, so we finally got to see joy and disgust and various others, and then we also get to see the kids' emotions, which is just like a stoner's nightmare.
Exactly. The kid is just like, he doesn't take life too seriously, and neither does his emotions, and so he's just kind of going through it all, everything.
Yeah.
But actually, it's funny that he because at the very beginning, he was the one who was freaking out when he saw the very beginning of the the very end of the movie, that he was the one who was freaking out, which is O'Reilly. So it's funny how he can freak out at one point but then be cool at the next.
Yeah. So basically, it does focus more on the dad, where he's trying to get to know more about this kid who walks in and is saying that he wants to speak to Riley, and then we see the emotions just going through. It's who is this kid? He's not going to go near Riley, and then finally the one thing that triggers him is that he's in a band. Yeah.
Actually, the one thing that's great about this is that, this didn't even need to be... let's say Inside Out didn't exist. This short on its own, will be a good introduction to say, oh, hey, this is what Inside Out's all about. And so, they refer back to, actually, when they call back on, when certain emotions get pulled up in little balls, and, they show, on the screen, it shows, memories of, where they do all that really well. It's, I love this short, so actually I do like this short quite a lot.
Yes.
And I was you got the mom who, is oh, well, how are we going to do this? And all her emotions are going do, this all new age, putting all the kids would all talk, and it's just they nail that down to a T of how embarrassing it is.
It is super embarrassing, where she was trying to talk very cool and modern, and Riley is super embarrassed.
Yeah, it's and so the one emotion I think is great about this is disgust, because disgust just common days and reacts disgust knows in a way it seems like the disgust emotion does get disgusted about things, but cares enough about the mother character, knowing that it's the mom character, saying, oh well, I'm disgusted like this, I can't deal with this. But I think there might be another side to it where it's I don't want to take control and show how disgusted I am, because I don't want to hurt the feelings of my mother. So I don't know, maybe there's more a dynamic to disgust than we actually give it. More is it's just the character who just has disgust. I think that's pretty. I think that's a thing I took away from it. I think that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So but all the other emotions are kind of confused, and it's at the point. Well, mind you, the narrative that takes over this short is obviously between the boy and the dad.
Yeah. And so basically, we get to see both of the emotions, and it definitely focuses a lot more on the dad's emotions, where he was very angry, he was fearful, he was concerned, and then finally when he says, "Oh, I was in a band," and then his memory just jogged in, is I was in a band, and then they started rocking and rolling to AC/DC.
Yeah, exactly. And so that was quite cool. And Riley's horrified, you left him alone with dad, knowing too well what might in her mind what might happen. But she was wrong, and they're pretty much best buds at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they weren't even, and this the title is actually super deceiving, because it's not a date.
No, it's not.
It's actually, they were just meeting up so that they can meet up with a group of friends who are going out to a skating park.
Well, it's Riley's first date, question mark.
That is true. Yeah, it is. So I would say it. If it wasn't for the question mark, it would be very deceiving. But it wasn't a date. It was just two friends who were just going out somewhere to meet up with other friends. Yeah. But I would say that this is one of the best shorts that we've seen based off of an actual Pixar film. Mm-hmm. We've had Mike's Car. We've had the Toy Story tunes. We've had the
Mr. Incredible and Pals.
Yeah,
as
Mr.
well.
Incredible and Pals. We had the Legend of Mordu that we talked about a few days ago, and then the Cars turns.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely one of the best ones.
This is definitely one of the better, newer ones, definitely. And, it makes me actually want to see more. Like, why not have it where, the mom character's like, in a situation where, her emotions have to react. I mean, I'll say that they're not here in Riley's first day, but I'd like to see them a bit more.
Yeah, the only thing that we do see from the mom is that she's trying to, calm the dad down because, this boy came in, and then the other one was trying to talk cool to Riley, and then the last bit was, Riley's dad was like looking lovey-dovey on her, and then she's like, kiss him, and then you have like the emotions of the mom being like really, really sweet, and then the emotions of the dad are basically just partying.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think, once again, like Inside Out, like, it continues on pretty much from Inside Out, being very, very good.
Yeah, and, it's great. I wish there would be more stuff on Inside Out because there's a lot of possibilities of it. And even Pete Docter said that, he is open to getting a sequel to it. But now that, Pixar
well, if you remember, they did leave open for a sequel because they have the puberty button, keep in mind. So
that is true, yeah.
I even said at the very end of the PixMinis episode when we talked about Inside Out, that puberty button's going to be on the poster, on the next movie.
Absolutely. Yeah. So until we get more opportunities for the up-and-coming creators and writers and animators to do their stories, I guess we'll just wait a little bit longer for Inside Out to continue its story. Mm-hmm. But in the meanwhile, definitely check this one out.
Definitely check this one out.